Welcome back to XAUUSD Gold. Gold has been one of the most explosive markets of the decade, and the trend line is still the single most powerful tool for reading it. In this masterclass we'll go from drawing your very first line all the way to 4 complete strategies you can trade on XAUUSD. Stick around to the end for the one-page cheat sheet. First, why trend lines work so well on gold specifically. Gold trends hard, it respects clean levels, and it moves a huge daily range, often hundreds of dollars. That combination means a single well-drawn line can frame an entire move, give you a precise place to enter, and a precise place to be wrong. So what exactly is a trend line? It's one straight line that maps the direction of price. In an uptrend, you draw it underneath the higher lows, and it acts as support. In a downtrend, you draw it across the lower highs, and it acts as resistance. That's the whole foundation. Here it is on a real chart. The uptrend line tracks the rising lows as support, the downtrend line tracks the falling highs as resistance. Notice how price keeps reacting at the line, that reaction is the entire edge. Now, how to draw a clean line in 6 steps. Pick your time frame. Mark the obvious swing highs and lows. Draw left to right through at least 2 anchor points. Extend the line forward so it projects into future price. Then validate it with more touches, and always check it against the higher time frame. This next rule will instantly upgrade your lines, the 3 touchpoint rule. 1 touch is an accident. 2 touches are a coincidence. 3 or more touches build a credible, validated, tradable line. The more often price respects it, the more reliable it becomes. A few rules to keep your lines honest. Anchor to clear swing points, don't force the line to fit. Be consistent with wicks versus bodies. And never ignore the higher time frame, a line that lines up across time frames is far more powerful than one drawn in isolation. Strategy 1, the trend line bounce. This is your trend following bread and butter. Every time price returns to a validated line and rejects it, you trade with the trend. Buy the bounce off support, sell the rejection off resistance. Wait for a confirmation candle, and place your stop just beyond the line. Here's the bounce in action on an ascending line. Notice price touches the line again and again, and each touch is a fresh buy the bounce opportunity in the direction of the trend. You're not predicting, you're reacting to the line holding. Strategy 2, the breakout. Here price pushes decisively through the line. The golden rule, wait for a candle to close beyond it. Don't react to a wick. A break below an upward line is a bearish reversal, a break above a downward line is bullish. On gold, expect $50 to $100 of follow-through once a real line gives way. And the mirror image, a downward trend line that breaks to the upside. Price had been making lower highs under resistance, then closes above the line and rips. Same rule, opposite direction, the close is your trigger. Strategy 3 is the highest probability version, break and retest. Instead of chasing the break, you wait for price to come back and retouch the broken line. Old support becomes new resistance, and the other way around. If that flip holds, you enter with a tighter stop and a much better reward to risk. Why do pros love the retest so much? Because you get confirmation before you risk ascent. The break alone can be a trap, the retest proves the level has genuinely flipped sides. For swing trades on gold, mark the line on the higher time frame, then drop down to trigger your entry with cleaner timing. Strategy 4 rounds out the toolkit, channels and flags. Copy your line to the opposite side of price to build a channel, buy the lower rail, sell the upper, or trade the break. A trend line flag is a small counter trend pause after a strong move, you trade the breakout in the direction of the original trend, often filtered by the 50-period moving average. One habit separates consistent traders from the rest, multi-timeframe alignment. Draw your major lines on the daily and 4-hour. Then zoom into the 1 hour or 15-minute to time the actual entry. When the small line and the big line agree, that's your highest conviction trade. Now the gold specific execution. Gold is volatile, so size your stops to volatility, not a fixed number of pips. A common rule is 1.5 to 2 times the hourly ATR. Trade the London and New York sessions, and stack confluence, a moving average, a round number, RSI, on top of every line. None of this matters without risk management. Risk only 1 to 2% of your account per trade. Aim for at least a 1 to 2 reward to risk. The retest entry helps you get there. Always use a hard stop, and never trade straight into high-impact news, where lines get blown through routinely. Let's kill the most common mistakes. Don't draw a line off a single touch. Don't force it through candle bodies. Don't ignore the higher time frame. Don't enter on a wick poke, wait for the close. And don't use tiny fixed stops that gold's volatility will hunt instantly. Let's apply everything to live gold. This chart is generated from raw daily data, with the lines drawn by an objective rule, the longest line that no candle pierces. A descending resistance off the lower highs and an ascending support off the swing lows squeeze into an apex, with price pressing right near 4,365. And here's the very same structure as seen by the TradingView community, gold coiling into the apex of a large symmetrical triangle. Two converging trend lines, price squeezed between them. This is the classic breakout or breakdown decision, and remember, the trade is the resolution, never a guess inside the triangle. Here is everything on one page, your cheat sheet. For each setup, the entry trigger, where the stop goes, and where you take profit. Bounce, breakout, break and retest, and channel. Pause and screenshot this one, it's the whole video in a single frame. So here's the game plan. Draw the line, validate it with 3 touches, then trade the bounce, the breakout, or the retest, always with volatility-sized stops and disciplined risk. Master those 3, and you'll read gold with far more clarity than 90% of traders out there. That's the complete trend line masterclass for gold. If it helped, smash that like and subscribe to XAUUSD for daily and weekly analysis. Trade safe, manage your risk, and remember, this is education, not financial advice. See you in the next one.